Wow. Hello, welcome. Quick audio test. Give me a moment to catch up on the stream. Everything sounds good. Excellent. Welcome. Welcoming customers. How are you doing on this fine evening? It's quite late to be showing up to a coffee shop, don't you think? Anyways, since I got your attention here, today we're gonna be looking at another One Piece deck. One we've already seen a very long time ago, actually. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So, obviously, I think this was my first, a little bit of backstory, quickly, is this is my first One Piece deck. And, yeah, it's very shiny. You can see the camera a bit there. But yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna quickly do the thing, and then we'll talk about the leader, and then I'll shoo this off to the side here for in a minute. But anyways, welcome. This is my first One Piece deck. There are many like it, but this one's mine, so I hold it very near and dear to me. This is starter deck. What was starter deck 9? I believe this was. This was when OPO3, I believe. I forget what it's called. Kingdom and Innistrad, something like that. It was during like the start of the hype. When I got into it, when I started to realize that they updated the art and that the game didn't look like poop anymore and the leaders looked interesting. And obviously, if you don't know, Yamato is one of my favorite characters. So that's, I would say at the very least, top 5 favorite characters. That range kind of changes a lot. Give it a minute. There we go. Actually, let me make sure this is, yeah, we're good. Okay, just some small hiccups on the stream. Nothing to really worry about too much. Hopefully not. We'll find out. But yeah, there we go. Let's see. Let me talk about the leader real quick. And actually, I can talk about this deck box a little more. Let me see. There you go. In case you're interested, Mage Tech. Not a sponsor, obviously, but an amazing deck box for the price. I'm quite happy with it. Honestly, since I discovered these, I've started to use these just for my One Piece stuff. And what's great about these is that they come with their own hard case, their own slab. So, which I can show right now. Ta-da! So you're gonna know something very different about this leader, or yeah, what's different about this leader is actually an L. Dun dun dun. So obviously this is the shell of an L, but I do flip between the two leaders, and I figured like might as well just do a video on Yamato, since I prefer Yamato. Yamato is sort of like the locals, and then the Enel is kind of like when I want to win, or if I want a higher chance of winning. Obviously, no deck has 100% win rate, but with Enel, has a higher chance of winning. And this Mage Tech case actually is massive. If you can see, hold on, you can see like there's like maybe a quarter inch, I would say, of like space in between the whole thing. So the cards kind of just shake loosely in there. Unfortunate. The nice thing is though, these are really easy to open because it's just a compression fit. So see, it's just literally 2 pieces of plastic smushed together. And yeah, I mean, of course, as you probably know, put that like over there. As you know, everything else is basically the same with my my setup. I have it set up like this, but it's probably not the correct orientation. I'm still getting the orientation right. So there's the box. Literally not much going on. It's not even a dice tray, which I prefer for One Piece decks in particular. If I don't need a dice tray, I won't get it. And then it comes with these little dividers. There's the Dawn, there's the deck. Also, I haven't even bothered organizing this. Per usual, I have not organized my deck, as I kind of do this on the fly. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly organize this. But first, I'm gonna pop this leader out of its case so you guys can take a quick look at it, and then we will put that over to the side so I don't accidentally dox myself. But yeah, there we go. So as you can see, like it is sleeved. Both leaders are in the sleeve, so it's a pretty thick sleeve. But anyways, Yamato, 5 cost, 5 life leader, mono yellow, and it has a pretty simple ability. It has attach 1 Dawn your opponent's turn. if you have 2 or less life cards, this leader gains 1k power. So pretty basic. Not very like fantastic. Pretty tight restrictions as far as like, you know, abilities are concerned, considering that we just flip it around. Maybe like what? Like maybe 3 or 4 months later, we got a, what's going on with my little guy? Are you good? You good, my little guy? Bop, 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 bop. Hold on. Bop, 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 bop. Okay. I don't know, tracking's a little off right now. I'm noticing it kind of messing up. Not sure why. There we go. All right, but yeah, as you can tell, Enel has probably like 3 sentences longer than Yamato does. So inherently, Yamato is going to be the weaker of the 2 leaders. However, I like Yamato a lot more than I like Enel. And so I'm just going to play Yamato as often as I can. Man, I think this thing is... Give me a moment. What is going on with my tracking's all messed up. I swear, I haven't touched anything. What is wrong with you, my dude? Okay. Yeah, that's my bad. Anyways, what can we talk about? Oh yeah, well, as I organize, you know, because it's the Enel deck, the sleeves and everything are the same. The inner sleeves, I believe they're like smoke inner sleeves. I forget if they're dragon. I don't think they're dragon shield. I think they're side loaders, smoke side loaders, and then obviously the clear dragon shield sleeves that I normally use. So, as I quickly try to organize this deck, I will talk a little bit about what the deck's trying to do, what it wants to do, what it ends up doing, and maybe I'll talk a little bit about, like, you know, future plans with the deck. Without like, okay, yeah, you can't, nothing's getting spoiled. That's the primary thing. I don't want anything to get spoiled. So, Yamato, as you know, early, super early leader. Not also a fantastic ability. However, when you're in the color yellow, I feel like you're already given like a pretty big leg up against most other decks, just because yellow inherently has a lot of things going on for it. You know, it has really good triggers. It has pretty good support, I would argue. I think they try not to print things for yellow. However, yellow just generically is good. As long as they continue to print cards for the yellow color, I don't think there's going to be an issue for it. I think it'll always kind of be this kind of, you know, very similar to black, I believe, where, you know, it's kind of like this amorphous glob where it can kind of do whatever it wants without much hesitation, as long as you're willing to build like a generic deck. With this Yamato deck though, in particular, and by extension this Enel deck, I am trying to do a obviously the normal things like removal, stuff like that, like, you know, heal, remove, build a board. That's normally what Enel wants to do. However, in that vein, I also decided to build a little deeper into the Vegapunk, into the Egghead archetype, which has a lot of built-in remove. It has a lot of great yellow cards to begin with. So it really didn't take me much to build further into it. It just took maybe 1 extra card to build. And the reason why I choose, is that loud? That's a little bit loud. Probably not too loud. Just trying to, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so don't mind me. I'm gonna be rambling for about 5 minutes or so. So be prepared to spend a lot of time just looking at nothing, because I don't want to spoil what's in the deck. You might be getting like small spoilers in the corner where you can kind of see what I'm doing, which of course you could always just kind of put context clue together. It's a yellow deck. There's not a lot going on. It's pretty bog standard. So yeah, I built towards the Egghead engine, it wasn't very hard because most of the egghead cards are really good. It just requires things like the I Rayquaza help, basically, and the 3-cost Bonnie in yellow, which is great. It doesn't like that's a very low bar to pass, because most yellow cards you're just like, yeah, most of these egghead cards are just good in general. Okay. Making sure everything is here. There you are. Yep. Don't worry, we're getting there. It's slow. So some of the weaknesses of this deck. Early game can be kind of tough. Obviously, with most decks like this, early game is really hard to establish. There really isn't much of an early game. It's just kind of like, you know, you swing in for big numbers, you swing in with your leader for big numbers, and eventually you kind of get there until you get to your late game. And then once you're in your late game, you're kind of like, all right, boom, 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 3 big bodies. Good luck. Have fun. I wish you the best. Unfortunate that you have to deal with these 10 drops and these 9 drops all at once, but that's how the cookie crumbles for you. Like most yellow decks, they want to try to go to the late game, and while that isn't like hard, most decks want to go to the late game, but Enel is very good at pushing the late game. Yamato not so much. Yamato is kind of more of an aggressive deck, which I prefer. I prefer a more aggressive, more proactive card pool. What else? I'm almost there, guys. It takes me a minute. I swear, it takes me a minute, guys. The reason why I didn't do this deck list, it is up to date. Technically up to date for 8.5. However, I didn't put any 8.5 cards in here. I probably could. One of the considerations I had was the 6-cost blocker Katakuri. That was one of my considerations. I ultimately chose against it because this deck shares cards with the Enel deck, and just for, you know, continuity's sakes, I just didn't think it was worth putting in here. Just because I wanted the Enel deck and the Yamato deck just to basically, I wanted just to flip the leader and the deck would just work, and that's what I did. So while the 6-blocker Katakuri would be good in this deck, I chose to build against it. It could be good. There are cards you could cut to add it in, but you definitely don't need it. All right, finally. Enough with that yapping. Get out of there. Not you. So finally, now we can actually talk about the deck like proper. We talked a little bit about it. I'm not even sure how much of that was cohesive. I was kind of like mindlessly putting cards together, hoping that some form of a sentence was being fulfilled. But yeah, this deck is not going to be that different from the Enel list I posted maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. Just slight upgrades, slight alts, and then obviously I'm using the Yamato leader alongside the Enel leader, just depending on, you know, what I want to play, how I'm feeling that day. So the first 4 are what you would expect. These are the, man, I chose the perfect place to film this. Nice and bright in the middle of the dark, or middle of the night for me. But yeah, this is Charlotte Flampe. It's our 1-drop 2K counter. Great card because on play, you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life and then draw 2 cards. So it's very tough not to play this turn 1 and be like, ooh, 2 cards for free, thank you very much. Especially when you're a 5-life leader, it's very easy to just throw this on the field and be like, yay, yippee, 2 cards. I've been trying to have a little more restraint and not making this turn 1 play all the time, because obviously being a 2K counter, it's more important in your hand than it is on the field drawing you 2 cards. That's an argument. that's an argument you can make, but I think I've just been, you know, personally trying to hold back and not play this immediately on turn 1. So there's Charlotte Flampe. Great card. Ah, dang it. Of course. How did you get mixed up? in this pile. There you go. Dummy. Someone tried to get a jump in the line. That's okay. We won't let that happen. Because our next card, and very similar to last time, I'd actually like to get alts because the alts are actually pretty cheap now. So this is the Shirahoshi. Blocker Shirahoshi. Oh, there she is. Da-da-dun. Blocker Shirahoshi, 2-drop, 0k, 0 power, 1k counter. It has blocker, and then it has probably the most important effect is that it has, when this character is killed by your opponent's effect, add up to 1 card from the top of your life. Okay, wait. Add 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. There you go. Just had it mixed up. I like this at 4. I understand if you don't want to run this at 4. A lot of people run this at 2. I choose to run this at 4. Just because, again, it's an early game play. A lot of times this will just sit on the field and it will either gain you a life or protect you from a hit or protect one of your characters from a hit. Honestly, this is never a dead card in your hand. This is never a dead card on the field. The only bad thing is that you will forget that this is on the field. That is how unassuming this blocker is that she will just sit there and just collect dust as you play the game. And then like towards the end of the game, you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I have a blocker. And then boom, it saves you a life. So great utility card. I like having it as an early game play. That's usually what I want my turn 1 or 2 or 2 to be. Another card you don't normally see in like most yellow decks nowadays. A lot of people have kind of cooled off on this card. I don't know why. This card's still great. I think Black Yellow Luffy still plays this, but yeah, it is Shirahoshi. Shirahoshi, MVP, honestly, actual MVP. I actually don't like playing this as a 2K. I like to hold on to these for as long as I can, just so I can use its effect. But it is a 2K counter. It's also a 2 cost, 0 power. But man, this card is like, honestly, it's gold in your hand. I would argue this is probably more important than your Flampe. Just because its ability, it has a, I'm running this also at 4. I will not run any less than 4 in a yellow deck. Every yellow deck I have, including the future one of Bella Betty, will have 4 of these. Just because of there's like a small combo you can pull off with this. It's like a little combat trick, not combat trick, but there's a small combo you can pull off with this. So it has an on play. You may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. Add up to 1 card from your hand to the top of your life deck or life cards. That is amazing. You get to basically cycle out your life. Granted, you actually need 1 life. You can't activate this without pulling a card from your life. So if you are at 0 life, do not play this card. I've made that mistake multiple times, and I have paid dearly with my life. Quite literally, I lost the game because of mistakes like that. But this is obviously great with your 0 cost event that's in the deck. That is what I combo with this card. Is you play this. If you have this in the 0 cost in your hand, do not play either. Don't waste either card. Play this, and then once you're at 1 life, play this and then play your 0 cost event, and then you basically have given yourself 2 life for the price of 1 card, essentially. So yeah, I try my hardest not to play this as a 2K counter. I try not to discard this early. I hang on to it as long as I can. It's usually one of the last 2Ks in my hand. So awesome card. Pretty dangerous when you have like such a high value on a 2K, because usually you want your 2Ks to be trashable. In this case, I have 8 2Ks that are much harder to discard. Speaking of which, I actually have another 2K. Are you seeing a pattern here? This one's a little easier to like discard. Like this one's actually easier to use for counter. However, this is another situation where if you hold on to it, if you hold on to it and your opponent does or doesn't, your opponent doesn't know if you have this. So holding on to it for a long time can kind of like mess with your opponent, making you think that this is in your life if they don't see these in trash. That is definitely mind games. You're playing mind games at that point when you hang on to this for that long, because at the end of the day, you probably want to counter out of the hit versus trying to play mind games with your opponent. But anyways, Capone is a 3 cost 3K 2K counter, no ability. However, it does have a trigger of up to 1 of your opponent's leaders or characters cannot attack during this turn. That's a freeze ability, as we learned. This was back in 04 and 4. OPO4. OPO4. It wasn't until what, OPO 6 or 5? No, 6. Was it 6? I think it was 6. Basically, once we got Boa Hancock, the 6 drop, I believe, is when we started to see like more prominent freeze effects. Technically, I think there's some green cards. I know Carrot has some freezing abilities, and so does Bonnie? I believe so. I'm not 100% sure, but this is honestly like the first and the best version of freezing a character. So again, I'm running this at 4. I've seen a lot of people cut this from their list. I think the only reason why people are cutting this from their list is because maybe just because this feels like a bit of like BM, just kind of bad manners to have this in your deck and trigger it. That's not an issue. That's perfectly fine with me. I do not mind triggering this or honestly, like half the time you don't even want to trigger this. You want to just kind of keep this in your hand as a late game counter. So there's the majority. That's not all of my counters, but that's a majority of my 2K counters. We still have, I believe, one more set of 2K counters to look at. But as an intermission, we have Bonnie. We have Jewelry Bonnie, the Egghead Bonnie, 3-cost yellow Bonnie. We can actually get to look at her. There she is, Bonnie in all her glory. Like I said, the original art of Bonnie, I disliked. Well, no, I can't be that mean. I didn't vibe with it. I didn't vibe with the standard art of Bonnie, so I put money aside, saved up for when I can get a playset. And this is basically, I think, no, this wasn't the last card I was waiting for. We'll talk about the last cards I've been waiting for, but I did wait a long time for these to drop in price and to slowly build up my alt collection, because I really did not, I really didn't want to play with the standard art, because I don't personally vibe with the art. I think her standard art looks too compressed. She looks too much like a Fist, or too much like a Pac-Man. She looks kind of like Pac-Man in her standard art, in my opinion. So I decided just to spend a little extra, get her unwound, and I think this looks good. I like it. Now we can actually talk about the card. The card is Jewelry Bonnie, 3-cost, 4K, 1K counter. Attach one on your turn, once per turn. When a card is removed from your opponent's life cards, draw 2 cards, then trash 1 card from your hand. Trigger, draw 2 cards, trash 1 card from your hand. So this basically replaced Shirahoshi, which is why I was able to wait so long, because Shirahoshi arguably is probably the better card between the two, because this one has like some hoops you have to jump through. However, the hoops are not that bad, and to have a body that can attack as well as draw you cards is not bad. It's pretty nice. But yeah, also it's an egghead. It's an egghead type, which in this deck in particular, having egghead cards is kind of important. It is relevant for the deck, so I figured why not. It's a good draw spell. It's a egghead, and you know, it's still like a 1K counter at worst. Slightly small body, like can be a decent body to swing in with. And yeah, pretty happy with it. I enjoy it. One of the cards, I mean, I don't know if I like this thing. I'm gonna, you know, bling out the deck. I don't know, man. It's so expensive. It's so expensive to bling out the deck. I've already I've already spent like a okay amount, like man, I've spent more than I want to admit on this deck, unfortunately. But yeah, if I do, this is probably gonna be the next alt I get, is Frankie. I think so, or maybe the Shirahoshis, we'll see. But yeah, Frankie is my, I think, last 2K counter in the deck. There's a lot of 2K counters in this deck. The reason for that is because a lot of my 2K counters I like to play. A lot of them I kind of hold back until like it's absolutely necessary to play them. And I mean, that's basically it. That's why I think I'm running 16. No, is it 12, 13, 14, 15? Yeah, 16. I'm playing 16 instead of like the traditional 12 or 10. Just because it's good to have, because Yamato and Enel want you to be at low life. So having extra 2Ks in hands is always important. So you can never really have enough. However, you need to have ones that are important enough to play, which is kind of where Frankie comes in. Frankie is a 4-cost 5k power, 2k counter, no ability. It has a trigger of draw 1 card, then if you have 1 or less life cards, play this card. Pretty good in late game. Kind of like, I feel like, I don't know, are there... I think it's still a good 2k counter, especially because it has the egghead type. It's even better in the deck, just because we're playing Ivory Quasar Help. My face keeps like my face keeps like let me try to do this again, and then I'll come back to talking. There we go. So yeah. So yeah, what was I talking about? Dang it. Frankie is a 2k counter. It's an egghead type, and it's an attacking body. It's a 4-cost 5k power. If by 4 dawn you don't have anything to really do, or by 6 dawn, because honestly 4 and 6 you get kind of like, you get a little shaky if you don't have the right cards in hand. So it's always nice, you know, if you have a Frankie in hand and you got nothing better to do, you can always play Frankie out as just a body, and it's a decent body. So I like Frankie. It's a good card, good egghead card. Very much enjoy it. Our next egghead card, we're gonna get into a little pocket of egghead, is Luffy. This Luffy is actually pretty interesting. Something I didn't know about even from the original is, and this is just like One Piece TCG nerd shit to know, is if you actually look at the bottom, as you can see, this little red doesn't actually continue all the way to the bottom of the card art. For whatever reason, colors got I don't know what honestly I couldn't begin to tell you what happened. Obviously it was a printing error. It was I don't think it was a printing error. I think it was a file error. I think there was an issue with the file, because every single English Monkey D. Luffy, Egghead Luffy has this issue. They are all missing color at just the bottom. They're not missing color at the top, just at the bottom. And obviously whoever the production designer was, or, you know, product artist, or whoever was managing this, just never even thought about this 1/4 inch down here, because it looks like it's finished, right? What I think could have happened though, you know what I think it is, looking at it, my suspicions are, as you can tell, it's a little hard to tell, but as you can tell, this white is actually a cloud. This is all just a cloud going up into this area. So what I think happened is somebody, I mean, obviously I don't know who, but I would suspect somebody started poking around in the, in whatever file this was in. I suspect it was an Illustrator file or some InDesign file. Somebody was poking around where they shouldn't be poking and accidentally moved a layer above where it was supposed to be. That is my best guess, because as you can tell, it's not a printing error, because there is color. Hold on. Because there is color down here in this corner, that tells me it's not a printing. However, there is this issue over here where this little leg is. I think this is supposed to be red, but I don't think it was a printing error. I believe somebody just, when they were putting in the English text, I think they dragged one of the art assets above the other pieces where it wasn't supposed to be, and that's what caused this error. That's my best guess. I could not tell you. I wasn't there. I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it. But that's my best guess, is that whoever had the original file and was doing the translations for the original file accidentally moved one of the assets up or down in the hierarchy, and then that got printed to every single piece of art, to every single Luffy card. And then obviously nobody double checked it, nobody noticed until like this got released to the public, and then people noticed, and then they're like, oops, sorry. We're not gonna fix it, but we're sorry. We're not gonna let you turn these in and get new ones, which is fine. Actually, that's right, there's also a printing error up here as well. As you can see, this claw, whatever this is, obviously this is not red, this is red. Which also, I mean, again, could be multiple reasons. I suspect files, like layers, got moved and then they just never got pushed back to their original spot. That's my best guess. I have no idea what happened. Anyways, after that long rant about absolutely nothing, is our 5-drop Monkey D. Luffy 5. I'm just gonna try to do this quick. 5/6 1k counter. Activate main. You may trash this character if you have 2 or less life cards. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 4 or less, then draw 1 card. Trigger. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. I'd probably trigger this card more than I actually play it. I do play this card. It's nice to play because the majority of the time it's just like a vanilla body that you can just swing in, and then occasionally you get to swing in and then you get to sack it. And then later on you get to play it with I Requires Our Help, you get to pop something else. It's a whole thing. It's very nice. It's great. So I'm running it at 4 just for the egghead type because it's Luffy. So you know Luffy's always going to be a good card in the One Piece game, so I enjoyed its removal. It's all kinds of stuff. So after that super long rant, we're going to talk about Nami. I'm going to try to burn through, well, I'm not going to burn through these fast because honestly, it's a stream. I got plenty of time. I can yap all day. But yeah, here is Nami, 5-drop Nami, Egghead Nami. I love this art. You cannot convince me otherwise. It doesn't matter what kind of fancy texturing or what fancy artwork they put on any of her alts for this card. This is it. This is my preference. I love this art. I think this is probably the best looking Nami. Well, I say this, I say that, but I don't think I mean it. This is probably one of my favorite. I feel like this like has a lot of, it's hard to explain like the energy it gives off. It has such a good vibe. It has such vibes to it. I think a lot of it is because of the colors and the aesthetics. Like you have a lot of like the 70s feel to it, and including with like the suit and the gun. You got the pink background, you got these big leafy greens behind her. It just screams like 70s sci-fi. And that like really embodies Egghead. Or at least that's what I think it embodies. I don't know. Egghead kind of happened pretty fast. A lot of stuff happened fast in Egghead. So we don't get to actually spend a lot of time proper in Egghead, but this is the vibe I get from Egghead. I think this Art Deco look really meshes with this with the cards in general, with the Egghead aesthetic, which is also why I have the Luffy, the normal Luffy, because I think the normal Luffy looks good. Same thing with the Nami. The Nami is a 5-cost 5k power 1k counter. On play, you may trash 1 card with trigger from your hand, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, then if you have 3 or less cards in your hand, draw a card. A lot of times I have more than 3 cards in hand, so I almost never get to draw with it. I occasionally get to draw with this card. This is another one that I also like to trigger a lot, just because like having Egghead cards in the grave is great for a trigger off of I Requires Our Help. There we go. But yeah, Nami, great card. I think it's good. It feels a little bit bad trashing one of your trigger cards. However, you're trashing, it's hard to say which one's to trash. I always have a hard time deciding what to trash to Nami. Sometimes I just trash Luffy to Nami just to make my life easier, because there's a lot of cards in here that I don't want to be getting rid of. So it's a love-hate relationship. However, being able to KO 5 costs in the current meta is pretty important. 4 costs, 5 costs are kind of your sweet spot for removal. So always want to be looking out for that stuff. And yeah, there's Nami. And okay, now we're into the big boys. We're looking at the big boys now. All right, so a fan favorite, someone who has always been on the channel since day one, the original part of the original list of Yamato is our iconic 3 Katakuris, our original alts. The original alts that I paid probably still too much for. Oh, that's not funny, but I'm laughing just because I love this. Like honestly, this is, I think, still hands down my favorite art, even with the new one that's coming out in the new what is it, PRB set. This is still my favorite art to Katakuri. Like you can't beat this. You can't beat this art. There is like, again, it's another vibe. There's like an energy to this card that is very, that's just so like daunting. It's so like, what's the word? Imposing, I guess. It's a very majestic. I'm gassing this card up too much. It's just art. It's just a cardboard. But I really do love this. It has such a vibe to it. It feels so good. It definitely like demands attention. And I love it. That's really, at the end of the day, that's what it is I just really like this art. This is my preference. Still to this day. So Katakuri is an 8-drop AK power, no counter. On play, add to 1 card with a cost of 8 to the top or bottom of its owner's life cards face up. So this is good old removal. This is just your bread and butter, old school removal. This is back in what, set 3? What set were you in? Oh, it's hard to tell. I think that's set 3. My eyes cannot see that number. Where did you go? It's because it's yellow text on top of yellow on a yellow. It's a yellow background with yellow text. There you go. Now I can see it. It's set 3. Yeah, I was right. It was set 3. But man, I don't know why it was so hard to read. There we go. There is our 3 Katakuris. Our next ones, another staple, another OG, making its way back into the list, is our Yamatos. 9-drop Yamatos. It is the same 4 Yamatos that I've had since the start. And these are from OP04. Actually, weirdly enough. Yeah. I don't know why they printed it like that. Hang on. No, that's correct. I'm gonna cope for a bit. I guess in 03, do I have any 03 cards? I believe Capone, no. Interesting. Alright, it'd be very sad if I learn live on stage that I have fake categories. I don't think so. I think they're real. I choose to believe they're real. But anyways, 9 cost Yamato is a 9-drop 9k power, no counter, on play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the total of yours and your opponent's life cards. Then, if you have 1 or less life cards, add to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. That is pretty good. It's okay. Like I've said in the past, I don't get a lot of removal. I don't get a lot of meaningful removal from this. It is primarily a healing card and a big body. If I manage to remove a small blocker or, you know, a small character, I'll be happy. If I can remove something that is 4 costs or below, then I think this card has done its job. 5 costs, 5 to 6, that'd be great. 4 costs, I'd be laughing to the bank for 4 costs. I'll be happy because that's just gravy. Honestly, the removal part is kind of just gravy for me. But yeah, this is primarily just a heal card. You also just get a big body out of it. So it's great. It looks cool. I'm not crazy. Again, I've talked about this. I'm not crazy about the art. I think it looks good. It makes me feel funny things. I would just say that. So when the new alt art for this comes out, I'm going to be updating my Yamatos to the new Yamato art. And obviously I'll be saying goodbye to these 4, which is going to be sad because they're my original 4, but I'm willing to trade up for an art style that, you know, speaks to me more. And for me, it's going to be the new ones. The new one's going to speak to me more. I think I should buy at least 1 before trading these off. Buy 1, just see what it looks like. See if I like the texturing, because the texturing on this is nice. There is some nice texturing with like the moon in the background and stuff like that. So I'm going to buy 1 and see how I feel about it. And then I'll probably slowly sell and upgrade. So that's not the end. We actually have 2 more cards, which are the aces. Thank God these have dropped in price. Oh my God. These used to be so much money at the start. Back in, what were these in? These were, oh no, look at that. This also has the okay, good. I'm not crazy. Bop, bop, bop. Where are you? Focus. Okay, thank God. It's the alt art secret rares that have the yellow fill-in. It's not just, I'm not crazy. I didn't get scammed. So it looks like, I guess, secret alts have this yellow border. That is, you know, when you have yellow background with yellow text, then it gets kind of hard to read. So yeah, back in OP07, I believe that says. Yeah. Takes me a second to see it. But yeah, back in when OPO7 released, which is not even that long ago, maybe like 3-ish months ago, maybe, I don't know, but a while ago, back when the 07, we're currently in 08, so this was like a set ago. Many moons ago, back in OPO8, this card was like 60 to 80 bucks, and I was not going to spend that much money on this card. That was like financial suicide. Spending what, baby, nearly $400. You're probably spending like what, $350. You're spending above $350 at least on a playset of these bad boys. And I was like, no way. Like, these NL players are psychos, man. Buying 4 of these cards back in the release, absolutely crazy. But I gotta admit, now that I have them, these do look really good. And for 30 bucks, man, you really can't beat it. I think they look great for 30 bucks. I was happy to pick them up for 30. Also, just a decent card, good card. It's a little hard with Yamato, the leader Yamato, primarily because it's 10 Dawn, and Yamato needs 1 Dawn, which is the reason why I want to put Katakuri, the blocker, the 6-drop blocker, in here, because that Katakuri puts a rested Dawn onto Yamato. That's, I think it's like a what, once per turn activate main, put a rested Dawn on a character or leader of your choice, and having the blocker out there and then having the 10-drop ace, you spend all your Dawn, you put a Dawn back onto Yamato, and then your Yamato is at 6k power. And you're probably most likely at 2 health, 2 life. Mostly because of this effect. But let me read the card first. So it's a 10-drop, 10k power, no counter. On play, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. Then, if you have 2 or less life cards, this character gains rush during this turn. So obviously, you want to be playing this. Obviously, you want to play this late game because you're going to be at roughly 1 life. If you're not at 1 life, it's not the end of the world to play this card, because the idea of this card is that it just heals you. You just want this thing to heal you. If you have rush, that's a bonus. You get to swing in. But if you don't have rush, then, you know, it's a 10k threat, which is still threatening. 10k is still a threatening number. But yeah, this is great. The 6-drop Katakuri would work really great, and I do technically have space for it. There are 2 cards in my events that I can cut for it that I may or may not do in the future. We'll see. But yeah, there's Ace. Really nice alt. I like it a lot. I'm happy with what I paid for it. I recommend, if right now, I would pick them up now. If you're gonna get the alts, get them before they go above 40, because these are still good. These are still great staples for yellow. Now we're gonna be going to our events. Our last couple of cards are gonna start with our 0 cost events. Honestly, in my opinion, if you're in yellow, okay, so in the past, I say a lot. I say this a whole lot. And what I usually say is you should have some 0 costs in your decks. I am a very big advocate for playing 0 costs in your decks, especially if you have if you have 10 2Ks, you should probably have at the minimum 2 of these in any color. You should have a playset of each in each color. I don't think there's an excuse. A 0 cost event is like a get out of jail free card for the most part. But let me read the card. So it is a 0 cost event. Counter: you may trash 1 card from your hand. Up to 1 of your leaders or characters gain 3k power during this battle. And then, like, okay, so that part alone, every single 0 cost has that part alone. And I think if you have a lot of no counter cards in your deck, and you have a low number of 2Ks in your hand, or in your deck in general, you should be running at the minimum 2 of these in any deck, in any color. The reason I'm going to say this, in yellow, in specifically yellow, I will never play a yellow deck that has less than 4. The same thing with Hioris. I will never have less than 4 in a yellow deck, because these 2 cards combo amazingly off of each other. You play the Hiyori, and then you put this at the bottom of your life. Essentially, when you're at 1 life, you play Hiyori, then you put this at your life. And the trigger, if you don't know what the trigger is, this is an infamously good trigger. I would argue this is almost ban worthy. If they ban this card, I will concede. I'll concede and accept the ban. I'm not going to quit the game, but I think this is almost a ban worthy card because I think a lot of headache comes from this card. Very similar to Capone. I think this card in particular has a lot of problems with its trigger ability. And when you can abuse its trigger, oh mama, it's so good. It's so good. You get 2 free lives out of this card. So let me read the trigger. The trigger is, if you have 0 life cards, you may add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then trash 1 card from your hand. If you didn't know, the Enel trigger, or Enel, also plays off of this ability. As far as the rulings are concerned, I don't know if I'm the best person to explain the rulings, but basically what you do, if this is the last card in your life and you trigger this, these 2 triggers go on the stack. You get to choose in what order they go off. And as far as I'm aware, you can do this one first, get your life off of this, then this triggers immediately afterwards, giving you an extra life. I believe that's how it works. I'm not sure if the order, if you want to do this one first or if it even matters, but I believe both triggers go onto the stack and they will both resolve. Regardless of what goes first and what goes second. Like they're resolving simultaneously. You're just deciding, you know, what goes first. Like they're happening at the same time. It's just, what do you want to do first? I believe is more or less how it works. So obviously these 2, like Enel with the 0 cost event, is just a menace. So and then with Yamato, it's a little bit better because you can't abuse it that badly. But yeah, you're the one who should disappear. Never play a yellow deck without 4 of these, in my opinion. Like in every yellow deck, there is a minimum of 8 cards in every yellow deck, in my opinion. It is a minimum of Hiyori's and a minimum of you're the one who should disappear. Those are the minimum 8 cards you need in this deck. And I will not be convinced otherwise. Until they ban those cards. I do not see, I will not be playing a yellow deck without them. I don't care how cheesy it is. But our next one is our 1-drop. A card I've been talking about a lot in this set is I Request Our Help. I Request Our Help is, I believe, a common, right? Or is it a... Yeah, it's a common. So check your bulk, because you probably have this. With this list, with the way this list is built, it really utilizes I Request Our Help really well if you can get this into your life. If this is in your life, you'll laugh into the bank. If you want, you can use Hiyori to put this at like you can use this with Hiyori at any other time other than your last life. Your last life, I primarily focus on getting the 0 cost at my last life, but if I have Request Our Help and I want to put it into my life, I can do that too. But I Request Our Help is a 1-drop event. It has a counter. If you have 2 or less life cards, up to 1 of your leaders or characters gain 3k power during this turn. That's fine. Let me drink some I need a wet my whistle, as they would say in the West. My goodness. Not sponsored, but in case you didn't know, Costco has started to put out their holiday ice, and this is quite literally the best one. It's my favorite. Apple cider ice is it's a godsend. It's so good, and it's not that terrible for you. There's nothing really in it that's bad. It's 5 calories, which, you know, God forbid you drink 5 calories. And then, yeah, it doesn't have any of the bad chemicals in it. It doesn't have like red 40 or what is it, blue something, blue 3 or blue 1, whatever the chemicals are, the coloring ones that give you cancer. Anyways, off the tangent. I Request Our Help. The trigger is play up to 1 egghead type character with the cost of 5 or less from your trash. Ta-da! You get to play, like, I don't even know how many eggheads I have in here. But you have Nami, it's 5 or less, so you can play Nami, you can play Luffy, you can play Frankie, you can play Bonnie. I think that's actually it. But that's like, what, 12? That's 12-ish cards, I believe, that you can just play for free off of a trigger ability. Hello? Yes, please, more. I need more. It's really cool because this is like a black ability. Playing stuff in your trash is very much a black ability, and throwing that onto a trigger of an event, very sneaky. Very sneaky of you, Bandai. But, well, not Bandai. Bandai just funds the... Bandai produces this. I forget the name of the actual card designers. There was a company. Gosh, I hear the name a bunch, but yeah, great sneaky card design. Very sneaky to hide a black ability into a trigger of a one drop event. I love it, and keeping it type locked, very on flavor. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyways, our last 2 cards is Kingdom Come. What was this original name? Raiko? I forgot. Kingdom Come is the English name. And if I was playing Yamato full time, I would be switching these out for the blockers. But I choose to keep this because it is removal. It is semi high cost removal. I think for 6 Dawn, you're getting an appropriate amount of removal. However, the drawbacks are the main reason why I choose not to play this 90% of the time. Unless I really need to get rid of something, I will play this. Or if I'm at 0 life and I got nothing better to do, which is almost never. I think that happened like once in my entire playing career has that ever happened, where, oh, I'm at 0 life and I got nothing to do with 10 Dawn. Like, when was the last time that's ever happened to you? You just have 6 free Dawn to throw away. That's very funny. But no, Kingdom Come is a 6-drop event. Main, KO to one of your opponent's characters, then trash cards from the top of your life cards until you have 1 life card. So, obviously, and any other leader, well, in any other color, this would be like a trash card. No one would be playing this in any other color. Yellow is okay doing this because most yellow decks are usually hanging around 1 to 2 life. It's pretty rare that they don't hang around like 2 life. So, especially with like Yamato wants to be at 2 life. It's very common for Yamato to be at 1 life. So just playing this for 6 and then just getting the removal for free is a pretty common occurrence. The trigger is, though, trigger K up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the total of yours and your opponent's life cards. So this is part of the Yamato ability, the removal part on a trigger, which is it's fine. I would argue you could probably trigger this and feel okay early game. A lot of times I use this as just like Nami fodder, just because, you know, that's also one reason why I haven't switched it out yet, because I use this with Nami mostly as just like a free card to trash. A lot of times it just kind of sits in my hand until like I desperately need to remove something, which is not very often. A lot of big bodies are not an issue in a game. Blockers are probably more of an issue than anything, but yeah, that's basically it. That's the deck. Yeah, that's everything. So there you go. There was the Yamato secretly a Nell deck, but actually Yamato. Deck tech for now. What are we at? We're almost at an hour. I got the simulator up. I just did a quick test to make sure that my simulator wasn't broken or outdated. Everything looks fine. It's been a while since I've been on the simulator. However, you know, it's about time. It's about time we get some games in. From the testing I've done with Yamato as the leader of this deck, I wouldn't expect any actual wins with it. It is good, but it really does fight for its wins. It's not like Enel, where Enel can kind of, honestly, like, can kind of go on autopilot and just kind of win at some point. Yamato, there's a little bit of thought you have to put into it. Like, you have to kind of play. You have to play the game. I know that's kind of like trashing on Enel, but with Enel, like, Enel I feel like has such a big safety net that you don't feel the stress of Enel when you're at low life, like you do with any other leader. When you're with any other leader at low life, you're kind of feeling the stress of it because you know there's no safety net. With Enel, there is a safety net. Yamato kind of has that. I get that feeling with Yamato where, like, oh man, I'm at 1 life. This is it. It's over, bro. If I don't win this turn, it's over, bro. And then, like, I get 3 turns and then I win. But you know, it is what it is. It's still kind of like a casino deck, very similar to like Katakuri, where it's kind of like semi-skill, semi-luck. You kind of just, you know, you balance the two and eventually you get a win. So we'll play a couple of games. I tend to play a little more aggressively. Obviously I still fight for board, so that's primarily what I'm trying to do. Fighting for board, swinging at life when you have the chance, and yeah, obviously keeping your health somewhat high, not high, but like, you know, staying at above 0. Staying at above 0 life is the primary goal of the deck. So it's always great when you get to achieve that goal. There we go. That is sufficiently shuffled, and that will be put away for now. For future stuff, because I've seen what OPO 10 has. Yeah, OPO 10. So OPO 10 has a lot of new yellow supernovas. I don't think I'm gonna convert my deck to it unless somehow the supernova package ends up being busted. Then I will probably just gut the egghead stuff. But chances are I probably won't be doing that, just because I like the synergy of the egghead stuff, where it has built-in removal, it has built-in recursion, sort of. And yeah, it's different. If the supernova package can meet those requirements, then maybe I'll switch over to the supernova package in the future when OPO 10 comes out in the West, which is probably, I think, like next year, because we're getting ready for this year to end. In case you didn't know, this year's almost over. It's December. Wake up, it's December. You've been asleep for 6 months. So much has changed. The life we once knew is just not there anymore. There we go. That's okay, you can go back to sleep. There we go. Put everything away for now. Thank you, Mage Tech, for the very good, awesome deck box. Great price. Obviously not sponsored, but I enjoy the product. So let us quickly say goodbye. Bye. Woo. And then we will get the sim going. Goodbye, 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 bye, 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 bye. There we go. It's gone. Oh no, it's still there. You can still see me. Oh no. We will fix that though in a moment as I put stuff away. So, well, so obviously same disclaimers as before. Whenever we play simulator stuff, you are not watching a professional tournament player. I'm not like the top 10% of players out there. I am literally a one viewer, Andy, who plays video games for entertainment. I'm just a silly guy. So don't take anything I do here seriously or as like gospel. Is this, no, where is the game? That's the game. I want you to, oh, that's great. Yes. That does not help my case. Well, excuse me as I fiddle with my stuff here. I think we want to do that. And then... is that what we're trying to do? I don't know if that's what we're trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Why won't you stretch? Damn it, stretch! I demand you to stretch. Oh no. That is not what I'm looking for. I can get this to work. I swear. What? Stand by as we does this look like top 10 player mentality? Is this what you expect your top 10 players to do? Surely more capable players know what to do. My goodness, come on. What is this? What are the key bindings? I'm looking like a damn fool. You know what? That's fine. Whatever. We're just gonna leave it like that. Okay. Fun. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been saying it's been a hot minute is probably an understatement. But let's look at the deck real quickly. It's gonna be named Enel, not that Yamato. There it is. So here's our list. Let me unplug the... There we go. Unplug the webcam. Get it out of my way, because I can't see shit. But yeah, here's the list. Everything looks appropriate to me. Good enough for a game or two. And we will do West. We're gonna do a quick drawing because I really don't care. Whoever's willing to fight me is good enough. It's Luffy. All right, Mr. Pirate Numbers. We are actually gonna keep this hand. We're keeping this hand, and we are going to give you the turn. Speaking of which, I should probably move my guy. No, I just got this fixed. There you go. Pop. And then there we go. Perfect. All right, we are at 3. I'm gonna deploy this. Attack. Do your worst, Mr. Luffy. Surely you have an answer to this. All right. Good luck. You got 4 life, buddy. I got you on the clock now. Your days are numbered. Oh no. He Suru'd me. Oh god. The humanity. Resolve. Yeah, let's use the trigger. Let's go. And then we'll 5 costs. Go down to Luffy. Attack again. Go ahead. Give me some cards. Thank you, sir. And then have fun. You're at 6, 6, 6. Now, what do I know about this leader? I know it's very similar to Luffy. Should I take this hit? I could take this. No, I could actually I don't want to counter out of this hit. This is what I'm talking about, where you can never have enough 2Ks in hand. You thought you got rid of it, but you didn't. You didn't get rid of it at all. We're at 7, so we really can't do much here. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to attach 2. Start asking for cards. And then we'll KO something. Is 2 or less life KO to 4 cost? No, I can't do that yet. There you go. I almost screwed myself. You always gotta be mindful of your life. A lot of these cards care about your life totals. Always got to keep that in mind. If we need to, we do have a 2K counter. We do have one of these to throw away. So at the minimum, we have at least 5K counter that I'm willing to use. Next turn, I'd like to drop this and maybe get rid of one of these two, put it in their life. We'll see. Might be this. Still has 4. I'm sussing you out, bro. Sussing you out. I see that 4 Dawn open. I don't know what it's gonna be for. It's for something. It might be just to swing in, or you might be trying to play like, I don't know, a Luffy, or what is it, Lucci. 2 Dawn. I don't think you're gonna do much with 2 Dawn, buddy. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so we're at 9. Still have 3 life. What am I gonna throw back into your life? This only has an on-play effect. I can probably swing into this. Would he give it up though? So we're at 8. Let's see if he wants to save this. He might save it. Yeah, he saved it. I do want to get rid of this, so I think I'm going to throw that into his life. See what he does about that. You have so many cards in hand, man. Just give me some cards. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. And then, we're still not at 2 life. We gotta take a hit. He's at 10. He's got Moria. Moria with... He's got a lot of stuff to play with Moria. Oh, he's got Jack, though. That's even worse. That's fine. Because we have a 10-drop ace. Not too worried about this. 6/6. Oh, this sucks. I'm gonna have to probably just let it go. Yeah. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. 5/5. Yeah, I'll let that resolve. Ooh, we have another one. We can throw this back into his life. Really screw him. 5/5. Yeah, we'll resolve that. I think we'll use the trigger. What do I want to trash? I don't really want to trash anything, so we're not going to trigger that. So, if we play the ace, 8, 9, 10, he'll probably counter out if we play ace. We could play a blocker, 8, 9, 10. We could play a blocker, play out a Katakuri. I know I'm going to get rid of this brand new. And then... do I want to put his... I think I'm going to put his Jack, right? No, it's at 8, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, no, we can't put his Jack anywhere. We could put his Sanji into life. Would it matter putting his Sanji in life? Because this is activate main, rest this, draw 1 card. Yeah, I think we're going to put his Sanji into life. I know it sucks giving him so much life. We're gonna add that to the bottom. And then we are going to... oh, you know what? I should have activated my Hiyori. That's okay. Not a big deal. Alright, that's fine. Because as far as we know, this is not actually doing much. Cycling out his hand. All this is doing is just removing one thing at a time. It's not really causing, it's not really putting pressure on me. Yeah, we'll let that resolve. Thanks, bud. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we'll resolve that. All right. And then for sure, we're gonna have to play out our... Oh wait, no, we can't. Ah, oh, dang it. Definitely should have countered out of that. But that's fine. Actually, we might have already lost this. Just because... Is there a way we can claw back? We can probably claw back. So we can KO. Oh, but his board's immune to KO abilities. So choose no targets, heal. We're at 1. Yeah. Just get rid of these bodies just so he has less things to attack with. See if we can actually keep this life. We might not be able to keep this life, which is unfortunate. So next turn we'll probably have to play out our ace just to heal again. If we get another turn, of course. 6, 7, 8. So he's requiring a 3k. I think we're gonna have to oblige. And then we're gonna trash. There we go. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5. Definitely don't have that, so we're taking this. We can trash. No, we're gonna keep this. There we go. So we're at 10. So we're gonna ace, swing into his jack. I don't think he'll have the counter. He might have the counter, but I don't think he will. Oh, he had the counter. Oh, you scoundrel. You little scoundrel. Nah, he's already at 6. He got me there. That was good. I did not expect him to have the 4k counter. He just threw at it at that. Let's see if he goes for ace. He probably won't be going for ace. I think he's gonna be going for life right now. That seems to be the smartest thing. In my opinion, that would be the smartest thing, is to just go for life. Don't worry about board anymore. Yeah, there he goes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's gonna require 5 counter. I could get out of this, but it's gonna basically put my hand at 0. All right, come on. Load it up and swing. 6, 7, 8, 9. 5k counter. So it's gonna be... Select the card to trash. Trash for counter. There you go. All right, man. Go for it. Let's see if you got it. Yeah, he's got it. Are you kidding me? Oh, okay, there he goes. He's got it. But does he though? No, he doesn't have it. I got one more turn. No, okay, there it is. That was a good game though. All right, we go back. We go back and do another round and see who's hanging out. See who we get. What unlucky soul will we run into today? Bum, bum, bum. All right. You're taking forever. I'm gonna try again. Ba-da-dum. 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 We are... Let me see if I pick like a random person. I don't usually like picking. Just because like I feel like picking kind of sucks, because then you kind of know what your opponent's going to be. I like having... I just like having the mystery of who my opponent's going to be. I hate picking like an actual person, because then I'm like, Do I want to fight this NL player, or do I want to fight this smoker? What strategies can I go up against? What can I expect to see in their deck list? Let me quickly look at One Piece top decks, and I can deduce what's in their deck. No. I'm not gonna play like that. I have a vague idea what most leaders do. I just... it's just whether or not I play the right cards in the right order. That's usually what it is. We might not get another game. I have a feeling that Luffy was probably our last game. Who else can we try? Do we try East? We could try the East. We'll just do East and see who shows up. See if we get a quicker matchup. It could be multiple things happening here. Slow connections. I think that could just be it. Just like a low ping, but I'm streaming at a decent... Oh, there we go. We got him. Oh, there's Shanks. Oh, I haven't fought Shanks. I don't know. I don't know what Shanks wants to do. Bleh. There we go. At least he's not blue, so I don't have to worry about him. Okay, that's their searcher. He has... Give up to your opponent's leader character minus 1k power during this turn. Not the end of the world, to be honest with you. Honestly, not that bad. But we'll see what happens. Okay, he just did the thing. Yeah, he just did the thing. That's so funny. He did the thing we were worried about. We'll resolve that. No, we're not going to trigger that. There's nothing. I doubt he's going to swing in with this. Let's see. Banish. It has, if your leader is red hair, KO to one of your opponent's characters with the original power of 6k or less. Oh, ooh. That could be kind of tricky, because I would like to play this Nami, but it's an on KO thing. And I don't have like a very clean way of dealing with that, do I? That's fine. What's he gonna KO? That's fine. Yeah. So this is the first time I played against Shanks, so I'm just learning. I'm learning what Shanks does. How do you move that much Dawn? I guess he's just moving his Dawn over. This is... you may rest this character. If your leader is red hair, give up to one of your opponents minus 2k power. Man, this is a rough leader. I can see why he's meta relevant in the next set. Though I can play him out. I'm gonna trash this. Fail that. Then I will clear your board. Highly doubt you're gonna save that. Okay, cool. What? What happened there? Oh man, I wanted to play that game out. He definitely had me on the ropes, without a doubt. My man had me on the ropes. Oh well, that sucked. I beat Shanks. There could have been an issue with the connection, judging by this. Let's see. There might have been an issue with connection. I'm not 100% sure. That could have been just we might have lost connection with our player. But you know what? That's still a win. I guess. I don't know. Oh well. Unfortunate, to be fair. Okay. I'll go second. It doesn't matter. Usohachi. Okay. So what we can do, we could draw our life. We have 2 of these. We can afford that. If we need to, we can use this. Surely he won't swing that big, right? 6K body? Surely not gonna swing that high. This is only a 3K, so that'll put us up to 8. 6, 7, 8, 9. We would still have to use this and then another 2K, I think. There might be. I think connection might just be slow. Because these turns are taking a lot longer than I think they probably should. Strange. Okay, I'll take it. No trigger. Alright. So at 4... Oh, I forgot. I forgot. I was just talking about how this was a 6K leader. No. That was just muscle memory. That was 1000% muscle memory right there. Oh well, that's fine. If he takes any of his life, it doesn't matter because we're still going to get the draws. Go around. Oh well, that's fine. Not much I can do about that. Do I want to give you a blocker for this? Eh, whatever. Five, 6, 7, 8. Would have been nice to have that one Dawn open, but no. Yeah, we can use the trigger. So at 6. He really wants to keep that, doesn't he? If I get rid of that, I'm gonna have to commit all my Dawn to it. Come on! Click! You buffoon! Come on. You're not gonna save it like that. You're not saving that. You gotta say goodbye. Say your goodbyes. Bye, Zoro. Thank you for wrapping 1. We'll see you next time. Alright. We'll end. Now you have to contest with the 6K body. Let's see if you remember that I'm a 6K body. You dingus. He remembered. Dang it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's gonna require 4K. Can I give him a 4K? I can give him 4K. What he doesn't know is that I have a shit ton of 4K bodies on the field. You think I was done? I'm not. Thank you, sir. Now I can get rid of your Mr. Bond Clay. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to trash probably the Ivory Quasar Help. And then get rid of that. Nice. I drew into another one. That's always useful. Definitely not saving that. It's taking a while. I have a feeling this is a connection issue. Unfortunate. Streaming is pretty taxing on your internet. Even though my stuff looks fine, it could be taxing on the internet. Like the ping might just be really bad. We might just have really bad ping. I'm surprised. You don't want your radical beam online. That's fine. Oh, we're gonna get, yeah. Okay, good. No, I thought we were getting the 10 drop kit or the 10 drop Luffy. Thankfully not. So right now he's at 7. Okay, I'm not saving it for that much. Funny. We're at 3, 4, 5. Ugh. I mean, we can heal, I guess. No, we can't even heal. This would just be a big body. So is it even worth playing our Yamato this early? We're at 10 Dawn. We can play our Yamato just to have a big body, but it feels bad. This is probably one of the worst Yamato plays I've had to make. Let's think. You know what? No. Because right now he's at 7. I would need to commit more Dawn. There we go. Just establish a big body. Because even though we didn't get, this was basically a really bad vanilla body, we just needed to get the bodies out there. 3K. I think we'll resolve that. Yeah, we'll resolve that. It's fine. We're not going to trigger that just because this is not really worth getting rid of yet. Because this is a body. This can swing in, which is important, but I don't think I want to waste cards like that. So that's 10. Yeah. We're gonna trash this. There we go. We are probably gonna put his kid at the bottom, and then six, 7. All right. Let's see what he does. He should have a gear 5th in here. He might just only have 2. We'll see what happens though. I mean, still not having a great hand. These are still great bodies to throw on the field. 6, 7, 8, 9. Then 1 extra K. I will trash my 2Ks for this. He's looking for answers. I think he's looking for a radical beam. Yeah, that's 100% just a radical beam. You'll have to radical beam out of this, or drop cards from hand. Okay. So right now 6, 7. And then we're just gonna have to call it there. See if he recovers from that. Ooh, that's a good recovery though. That's an 11. Oh no. Interesting. Why would you put it on? Why? Sure. Do I want to use this? No, I'll keep the counter in hand. So I have a feeling this is going to swing in for 5. Yeah. He's gonna be pissed. He's gonna be pissed. Let's go. Oh Oh, that was fun. That was so funny. Oh, he did have the Radical Beam. He had the Diablo Jambe. He had the 9-drop New Gate, bro. What are you doing just playing your kids? To be fair, he wasn't going to be recovering from that. There's no way. He might have been able to Radical Beam out of one thing, but like, no. Oh, I just made an enemy for life. Oh, there you go. There's the power of yellow. That's just yellow. Not even a no. That's just the power of yellow right there. Not a great deck, but you can't get mad at it because it's not meta. It's just a yellow deck doing yellow things, you know? You can't get mad at me. I'm just a little guy. I'm sorry. That's BM. That was a good game. Honestly, if the red purple Luffy player is watching this in the future somehow, if you run into your match, I'm sorry. That was just so funny. I didn't do it on purpose, obviously, but that was great. That's why you run zero cost events, man. That's why I know run zero cost events. I mean, if that's not like free advertisement for why you should run zero cost events in a yellow deck, I don't know what else is. But thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. That was very silly. Obviously, black is still an issue. It is what it is. Shanks surprisingly was still a problem. That was just the first time I ever fought a Shanks. I haven't fought any of the 09 leaders. That was my first exposure to them. Obviously Shanks is the current meta, and it seems like a pretty strong deck. I can kind of understand why people are interested. It's very solid. It has built-in cost reduction, which is great. I don't know how to like counter that. I don't think you can. Oops. I guess the idea, I don't know, because his blocker, I believe, KOs 6k bodies. So that's tough. How do you deal with that? He inherently, in response, he can lower the cost of anything. So you always need to go above 2. You always need to commit more Dawn than you think you need to commit to when you're going to swing into Shanks or to any other bodies. I don't know. I'm sitting here trying to think, like, how do you deal with Shanks? I think, well, we know Doflamingo is currently the top over in the East. We know it's Doflamingo and something else. I think Shanks is still top tier. I don't know if he's like number 2 though. I think Lucci might still be number 2, which would make sense. Lucci just has built, but you know, when you can remove everything, it really doesn't matter how much power you reduce because all your stuff is being removed. Doflamingo is bouncing bodies back and establishing a bigger board than you. That's pretty big. That's important. Is that the strategy? Maybe yellow just doesn't have like a place in the Shanks era of meta, which maybe it's true. I mean, that was literally my first game with Shanks, so maybe it was just, you know, maybe he high rolled, maybe I just didn't play into it right. But it seems like a strong deck, so I understand why a lot of people are excited to play it. And, you know, if I pull it, maybe I'll build it. I might sell it, because I have a feeling Shanks is going to be a good chunk of money if I end up pulling the alt. If not the end of the world. But that was fun. There's the Enel, well, there's the Yamato deck, not the Enel deck. Because it is Yamato. It's just we're playing the Enel deck with Yamato, which I feel like balances out the deck pretty well, because you don't have that safety net that Enel has. However, you're still playing with the same like life recovery cards. So as long as you play your hands right, you'll be able to outlast your opponent very easily while still keeping the aggression up. And yeah, there you go. There's Yamato into a handful of different leaders. Obviously, black is still tough. You know, any good black leader is going to be a hard matchup, regardless of who you are. Shanks, just, you know, bad matchup. I didn't know the matchup. And then red purple Luffy, man, my poor guy. I feel for him too. I've been on the end of that kind of yellow play. It's just like, it was just not his day. God decided no for his win. God's like, no, you're not winning this one, son. But all right, I'm gonna go wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate if you're watching live or you're watching the VOD later on. I appreciate spending time with me, you spending time with me. Of course, that's how this works, right? Right? Yeah, that's how this works. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave you here. Next week, more stuff, more of the same silly stuff. Maybe not a One Piece thing next Friday. Next Friday, we'll probably go back to Slay the Spire or some kind of something else. We'll see. We'll try to wrap up a couple of games. We're almost done with Cult of the Lamb. We got one more stream for Cult of the Lamb, and then I'm calling it there. I'm fighting. I'm gonna fight God, and then I'm ending the Cult of the Lamb stuff. That's the plan for that's the plan for Wednesday. Wednesday we're fighting God, and we're gonna wrap up that series, and then we can jump on to something new. Something I have no idea what. But we got stuff. We got stuff planned. So I'll see you guys later. Au revoir. Goodbye. Adios. Hopefully you got your coffee order. I made it about 2 hours ago. Actually, no. I made it about 50 minutes ago. So hopefully you got your order. If not, check the counter. It might be cold. All right. Bye. 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 Bye.